Have you ever pondered the mystery of your own consciousness? This enigma has been a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma for scientists for ages. It's a profound question that sits at the heart of everything we experience. What is consciousness? Is it the very fabric of our being, or is it merely an illusion? This debate has two camps. One side posits that consciousness is a genuine phenomenon, an intrinsic part of our existence. It points to our self-awareness, our emotional depth, our capacity for logical reasoning, aspects of our being that seem to transcend mere physical processes. The opposing side, however, views consciousness as a byproduct of intricate neural connections within our brains. They argue that when the brain ceases, so does consciousness, rendering it a temporary illusion of sorts. This puzzle, this enigma of consciousness, continues to baffle us. For some, consciousness is as real as the air we breathe, while others see it as nothing more than an illusion. Those who believe in the reality of consciousness point to certain undeniable experiences. They argue that our ability to feel emotions, to perceive the world around us, to think, to reason, and to be self-aware, are all indicative of a conscious mind. Take self-awareness, for example. It's the sense of I that each of us carries within us, the understanding that we are separate entities from the world around us. This experience of self, they argue, is so profound and personal that it cannot be downplayed as a mere illusion or a trick of the brain. Then there are emotions. The depth and breadth of human emotions, ranging from love and joy to fear and anger, are seen as proof of our consciousness. The skeptics might say that these emotions are simply chemical reactions in our brains, but believers counter that the subjective experience of these emotions, the feeling of them, is something that cannot be reduced to mere chemistry. And what about the ability to think and reason, the capacity to ponder the mysteries of the universe, to solve complex problems, to create art and music? These are seen as manifestations of a conscious mind at work. In all these ways, believers argue, consciousness proves itself to be a very real and integral part of our existence. It cannot be brushed aside as an illusion or a byproduct of brain activity. For these believers, consciousness is an undeniable aspect of our existence. On the other side of the debate, skeptics argue that consciousness is merely a result of our complex neural connections. From this viewpoint, the brain functions like an intricate machine, with billions of neurons firing and communicating, creating the illusion of consciousness. There is no independent existence, no soul or spirit that continues beyond the physical body. This viewpoint, while it may seem reductionist, is grounded in empirical evidence. Skeptics point to numerous studies showing a direct correlation between brain activity and conscious experience. They argue that if consciousness were something more than the brain's workings, we wouldn't see such a tight link between the two. However, despite its scientific grounding, this perspective does not tell the whole story. The mystery of consciousness remains, with questions that science is still struggling to answer. For these skeptics, consciousness is nothing more than a complex illusion created by our brains. Despite years of research and countless studies, the true nature of consciousness remains a mystery. We've explored the enigma of consciousness, the compelling arguments for its existence, and the skeptical viewpoint suggesting it's nothing more than our brains at work. But where does that leave us? In the middle of an ongoing debate, it seems. The science is still out on whether consciousness is a genuine phenomenon or merely an elaborate illusion created by complex neural connections. We've touched on the self-awareness, emotions, and reasoning that some argue are proof of consciousness being more than just brain activity. Conversely, we've delved into the perspective that all these experiences might cease to exist once the brain stops functioning. Despite the compelling arguments on both sides, consensus among scientists remains elusive. The question, is consciousness real or an illusion, continues to baffle the brightest minds. Perhaps the true nature of consciousness will forever remain one of life's greatest enigmas. As we delve deeper into the enigma of consciousness, we find more questions than answers. The debate rages on between those who view consciousness as a tangible phenomenon and those who perceive it as a mere construct of our brain's intricate workings. On one side, we have the proponents who argue that our self-awareness, emotions, and reasoning are more than just neural sparks. They believe these experiences are proof of a conscious mind that transcends our physical brain. On the other hand, skeptics argue that these experiences, profound as they may seem, are nothing more than the result of complex brain activity, ceasing to exist the moment our brains stop functioning. Yet, the mystery of consciousness persists, a puzzle whose pieces we're still trying to decipher. The quest for understanding continues, with researchers tirelessly exploring this fascinating conundrum. The importance of this exploration cannot be overstated. Whether consciousness is real or an illusion, the pursuit of its understanding brings us closer to comprehending the essence of who we are, the nature of our existence, and the very fabric of reality. While the truth about consciousness remains elusive, the journey of discovery continues. Stay curious, stay questioning. After all, it's the questions, not the answers, that propel us forward in our quest for understanding.